What if I told you that within the heart of Virgo lies a secret written not in books, not in stars alone, but in the very hands of God? What if I revealed to you that Virgos were chosen to carry 8 divine treasures that no other soul could endure? And what if I promised you that the final gift, the last revelation, will not only change the way you see yourself, but will forever transform the way the world sees you? You are not here by chance. You are not listening by accident. The universe has guided you here, in this moment, because your soul is ready. Ready to remember a truth older than time itself. Ready to awaken to the sacred mission that was placed in your heart before you ever took your first breath. For too long, the world has mistaken Virgo. They've called you the perfectionist, the critic, the one who sees only the flaws. But tonight, that illusion falls away. For you are not merely an observer, you are the keeper of hidden order. You are not just analytical, you are the vessel of God's precision. And in your silence, in your stillness, you have been carrying a power so holy, so unshakable, that even the stars bow to its design. Virgo, you were chosen not for glory, but for sacred purpose. And the treasures you hold are not of this earth, they are eternal. One by one, they will be revealed, and with each unveiling you will feel the chains of doubt fall from you. And when the final treasure shines, you will know, you were never small, never overlooked, never ordinary. You are divine architecture in human form. This is not just a message, it is your calling. It is your crown. And it comes to you now, not tomorrow, not someday, but here, in this very moment. Welcome to Mindfulness Meditation. Before we journey deeper into this revelation, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more messages of light and wisdom to souls around the world. Virgo, prepare yourself. For what you are about to hear is not simply knowledge, it is remembrance. And once you receive it, you can never be the same. 1. Virgo and the 8 divine treasures. The sacred journey of the cosmic servant. There comes a moment in every soul's life when the ordinary turns translucent, when the veil thins and what once appeared as a simple personality trait reveals itself as something far older, far more sacred. For Virgo, that moment is not waiting somewhere far in the future. It is here. It is now. For too long, Virgo has been reduced to an earthly caricature, the perfectionist, the meticulous one, the organizer. People laugh at Virgo's attention to detail, or shake their heads at their cautious planning, never realizing that these are not quirks of temperament but reflections of a far greater calling. Behind those quiet gestures and precise movements lies a soul chosen to carry 8 treasures no other sign could endure. And tonight, I do not come merely to describe them. I come to unveil them, as one unveils relics in a sacred temple, each one shining with the fingerprints of the divine. These are not skills to be acquired, nor habits to be cultivated. They are gifts given before birth, seated in Virgo's spiritual DNA, waiting to be recognized, honored, and embodied. The first gift, the sacred eye of discernment. Imagine standing in a crowded marketplace where merchants shout, banners wave, and promises pour forth like honey. Most would be dazzled, lost in the noise. But Virgo carries the eye of discernment, the power to pierce through illusion and see what is real. This gift is not cynicism, it is clarity. While others may chase the shiny trinket, Virgo's gaze rests on what is enduring, what is true. Throughout history, those with this sacred eye have become advisors, prophets, healers, the ones who can distinguish medicine from poison, truth from deception, love from manipulation. And in our modern world, cluttered with digital noise, this gift has never been more vital. Perhaps this is why so many Virgos feel weary. The world demands they filter its endless illusions. Yet I say to you, Virgo, this is not a burden. It is your calling. You are the lighthouse, refusing to let truth drown beneath the waves. The second gift, the healer's touch. Not all healing is grand. Sometimes it comes through a word spoken at the right time, a hand resting quietly on a shoulder, a meal prepared with love. Virgos carry the healer's touch, a subtle, almost invisible power that transforms others without fanfare. Consider Florence Nightingale, who entered dark, filthy hospitals and by sheer devotion turned them into places of light and care. She was a Virgo. Her hands did not seek glory, they sought to soothe, to restore. Each Virgo I have met has carried this in some form. They listen, they notice, they tend. And though the world rarely gives them recognition, those who have been healed never forget. Perhaps you, too, Virgo, underestimate this gift. But remember, Even Christ's miracles often began with a simple touch. The third gift, the fire of sacred discipline. Discipline has been misunderstood. Too often it is seen as punishment, restriction, joyless rigidity. But for Virgo, discipline is fire. It is the inner flame that allows them to build where others collapse, to endure where others quit. Think of the ancient monks copying sacred texts by candlelight for decades. Think of the artisans of cathedrals, who carved stone knowing they would never see the finished spires. That is Virgo energy, sacred discipline turned into legacy. And yes, sometimes this fire feels heavy. Virgo looks at others who play loosely, who seem to glide without care, and wonders, why must I carry the harder path? But the truth is this, the universe entrusted you with endurance because you alone could safeguard the holy work. Your fire is not chains, it is fuel for destiny. The fourth gift, the key of humility. Humility is not weakness. It is not lowering oneself into the dust. It is the key that keeps the heart pure enough to channel wisdom without corruption. Virgo has been mocked for being too modest, for not demanding the spotlight. But that is because they understand a secret. The vessel must remain empty for the water to flow. In an age obsessed with fame and self-promotion, Virgo holds the antidote. Humility allows them to serve without ego, to guide without manipulation. And when the final history of humanity is written, it will not be the loudest voices remembered, but those who lived with quiet, radiant integrity. The fifth gift, the lunar bridge of intuition. Logic is Virgo's shield, but intuition is their secret river. I call it the lunar bridge because it reflects the glow of hidden light, connecting the mind with the soul. Many Virgos deny this gift, afraid that intuition feels irrational. Yet how many times have you felt it? The quiet knowing, the whisper that turned out to be right? This bridge is not superstition, it is your soul conversing with the divine. I urge every Virgo listening, trust the bridge. Walk it often. Let it guide you between the measurable and the mystical, for you were born to reconcile the two. The sixth gift, the anchor of purity. In turbulent waters, the anchor holds the ship steady. For Virgo, purity is that anchor. It does not mean naivety or moral perfection, it means loyalty to what is clear, honest, uncorrupted. In a world of shortcuts and compromises, Virgo is often the one who says, no, we must do this right. People may roll their eyes, call you rigid, accuse you of being difficult. But one day, when the storm passes, they will realize it was your anchor that kept the foundation from collapsing. This gift is why Virgos are often trusted with responsibility, why they can be counted on when others falter. Purity is not fragility, it is strength forged in stillness. The seventh gift, the shield of justice. Virgo's compassion is fierce. Though gentle in daily life, when confronted with cruelty or injustice, they rise like warriors. The shield of justice rests in their soul, compelling them to protect the vulnerable, to speak for those who cannot. I have seen Virgos defend the bullied child, the neglected elder, the animal left suffering. They may not raise swords, but their shield is no less powerful. This is why Virgos often feel so much pain in today's world. Injustice cuts them deeply because their soul was designed to confront it. And while they cannot fix everything, their mere presence often tips the balance. One act of justice ripples farther than they know. The eighth gift, the crown of divine service. And now we arrive at the final treasure, the crown. It is not made of jewels or gold but of something far rarer, the radiance that transforms daily acts into sacred offerings. Virgo was never meant to serve out of obligation or martyrdom. Their true service is divine. Each gesture, no matter how small, becomes a liturgy. Washing dishes, teaching a child, offering counsel, organizing chaos, these are not chores. They are prayers made visible. When Virgo remembers this, life changes. The ordinary world becomes a temple. And those who mocked their obsession with details, suddenly see that every detail was a stitch in a cosmic tapestry. The crown is not given from outside, it shines the moment Virgo realizes they have been wearing it all along. As I reveal these treasures, I must confess, they are not only for Virgo. Each of us, no matter our sign, can learn from them. We all need discernment. We all need humility. We all need the courage to serve without seeking applause. But Virgo, you embody these gifts so fully that the rest of us look to you as mirror and guide. Your life is a sermon, written not in words but in actions. And I will say this plainly, the world needs you now more than ever. In times of chaos, people long for discernment. In times of division, they long for justice. In times of despair, they long for healing. These 8 treasures are not ornaments. They are tools for the survival of the human spirit. So, Virgo, lift your head. Do not shrink into the shadows of modesty. The time of hiding is over. You are not simply the perfectionist. You are the guardian of sacred treasures, the keeper of cosmic order, the quiet architect of humanity's hope. The eye, the touch, the fire, the key, the bridge, the anchor, the shield, the crown, these are yours. Not to hoard, but to give. Not to prove, but to embody. And as you walk forward into the days ahead, remember this. Service is not the end of your journey. It is the throne upon which your soul was always meant to sit. Virgo, the world may not always recognize you, but heaven does. And tonight, you know the truth. You were chosen not by accident, but by divine design. 2. Virgo and the 8 divine treasures. The sacred reunion. Imagine standing in a vast cathedral not built by human hands but carved from light, where every stone is woven from intention and every echo is a reminder of eternity. In that holy silence, a voice rises, not a voice from outside, but from within, and it speaks your name, Virgo. It tells you that you are not here by accident. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were chosen to carry treasures too heavy for others, yet perfectly suited for the quiet strength of your soul. For centuries, the world has misunderstood you. They called you perfectionist, critic, worrier, the one who always sees the cracks in the glass. They never realized that those cracks were doorways, that your eyes were tuned not to flaws but to the hidden order beneath chaos. What they mocked as rigidity was in truth reverence. What they dismissed as overthinking was the ancient work of a guardian tracing the architecture of God. These 8 treasures you hold are not made of gold or jewels. They are virtues, energies, living forces woven into your very being. And like any treasure, they were never meant to remain scattered. Each trial of your life, each moment of loss, betrayal, or solitude has been a test, an initiation, meant to polish and prepare you so that when the time comes, you will not simply carry one gift, but all 8 in their wholeness. The first treasure is discernment, the sacred ability to separate truth from illusion. How many times have you felt the weight of seeing too clearly what others refuse to acknowledge? This was not a curse, Virgo. It was the first jewel placed in your hand. The second is devotion, the quiet, unwavering flame that makes you return again and again to what is good, what is right, what is worth saving. Even when no one thanked you, even when no one noticed, you stayed. That was no accident. The third is humility, not weakness, but a mirror polished so clear that it reflects only light. While the world shouts for recognition, you understand that true greatness does not need to be announced. The fourth is healing. Not the grand gesture, not the miracle on a stage, but the touch so subtle it rethreads the fabric of another's soul. You may have thought of it as kindness, but heaven calls it medicine. The fifth is resilience, the treasure forged in fire. Every heartbreak, every setback, every night you thought you would not survive became a workshop of steel. You rise not because it is easy, but because it is written in your design. The sixth is wisdom, the kind not learned in books but etched through years of watching, listening, waiting. You have always carried the memory of something older than your own life. The seventh is service, not servitude, but the holy act of standing at the threshold for others, making sure they find their way home. And the eighth, the crown jewel, is light itself. The light that does not come from stars, but from the source that made the stars. It is the treasure hidden all along in your silence, in your solitude, in your most private prayers. Now imagine, Virgo, what happens when these 8 treasures no longer lie scattered across the path of your life but return to each other, fuse, and become whole again. You are no longer the cautious observer. You are the protector of truth. You are no longer the silent helper. You are the healer whose presence alters the atmosphere of a room. You are not just resilient, you are indestructible. In that union, you stand revealed as what you always were, a sacred warrior cloaked in light. And here is the revelation that shakes the soul. Every challenge you endured was not punishment. It was training. Every criticism you absorbed, every loneliness you carried, every season you thought would break you was sharpening the edge of your gifts, ensuring that you could bear the full weight of these treasures without being consumed by them. This is why destiny trusted you with them. Because you are not moved by vanity. You do not squander power for applause. You carry these treasures not for yourself, but for humanity. And in this, Virgo, you become what history has so often forgotten: the quiet architects of healing, the hidden protectors of order, the silent builders of a better tomorrow. When the 8 treasures unite, your life becomes a living temple. You walk into rooms and shadows flee. You speak, and truth rearranges the atmosphere. You heal without announcing it, inspire without trying, guide without needing a crown. For the crown is already within you. So if you have ever doubted your worth, remember this: perfection was never your purpose. Wholeness was. The treasures you carry are not accidents, they are appointments. And today, you stand not as the overlooked perfectionist, but as the soul entrusted with the very architecture of light. Virgo, we have walked together through the unveiling of the 8 divine treasures placed within your soul. What began as a whisper of mystery has now become a symphony of revelation. You have seen the sacred eye of discernment, the healer's touch, the fire of sacred discipline, the key of humility, the lunar bridge of intuition, the anchor of purity, the shield of justice, and finally, the crown of divine service. Each gift was not a lesson to be learned, but a mirror to remind you of who you already are. And now, at this moment, the circle is complete. You may have once asked yourself, am I enough? Do I truly matter? And tonight the answer has been given with clarity. You were never ordinary. You were always chosen. The very questions that haunted you have been transformed into confirmations of your worth. You are not invisible to God, not forgotten by the heavens. You carry the flame that was hidden in human form, and it burns more brightly than you ever dared to believe. Think of the image of the lighthouse in the storm. Ships may pass without gratitude, travelers may never know your name, yet without your light, their journeys would falter. That is your essence, Virgo. Quiet yet powerful, humble yet crowned, unseen by the world yet recognized by the eternal. The storms do not define you. The light you carry through them does. So do not shrink from your radiance because others cannot comprehend its brilliance. Do not wait for the world to validate what heaven has already confirmed. Walk in humility, yes, but also in confidence. Serve with love, protect with justice, heal with gentleness, and trust that every act you offer ripples farther than your eyes can see. And as this message closes, remember, this is not the end of your story. It is only the beginning of a brighter path. Carry these treasures with you into each day. Let them shape your choices, your relationships, your very sense of self. And if your soul longs for more light, more wisdom, more revelations, I invite you to continue this journey with us. Watch the other messages on this channel, share this truth with those who need it, and allow yourself to walk fully into the destiny that was always yours. Virgo, you are crowned. You are chosen. And your sacred story is just beginning.